Here's an interesting one for you, Will. High altitude living would change your genes. You will adapt. You will become one with the altitude.
Oh, that's why athletes train in high altitude, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
So
But
I
this
guess
particular study actually goes a step further. They say like it's changing DNA and the way that your DNA
the makeup is
interacts
changed
with the
because of
environment. Like, oh, your
right.
DNA can mod itself with the environment faster than originally imagined.
Hmm.
I remember reading about this when I was a kid about how in the Himalayas you would have the Sherpas and they wouldn't need the oxygen when they're going up Everest. Just like it's just like a just a stroll. Like for them, it's just
Yeah.
like for me, it's walking a dog. They're just like I'm just gonna head up
Yeah.
Everest for a bit because I got the right. I don't need the oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
And
Their
that's
lung capacity is
it's just madness.
pretty high.
It's just
I
they
would
don't need
imagine.
they don't need the oxygen. They found in this particular study that it's around certain genes, including what was the one here? The strategy allows people to adapt to their surroundings much more rapidly than pure genetics alone. We're talking about the environment causing chemical modifications to your DNA that turn genes on or off for specific functions. I mean, this is magical stuff over here. Here it is. The data revealed significant differences in the methylation patterns among the groups. And these are genes involved with creating red blood cells and building endurance muscles. And those were more prevalent in the individuals who were more methylated, those born at the high altitude. So they're getting the endurance, the muscle endurance, and the red blood cells, which you would like at those high altitudes, Will.
Have you tried like training at high altitudes?
Yeah, I was out there this morning. No, I
Or
haven't
over
tried.
that little
No.
hill over there?
Yeah, I went up the hill over there. No,
Okay,
I
good.
haven't tried training at high altitude, but I mean, people are doing weird things with oxygen and altitude recently because we had the thing about the anti-aging in the it was in an not an altitude chamber. It was a hyperbaric chamber.
Hyperbaric.
Either way, that there's this correlation that they think we can actually mod DNA based on these behaviors and based on these examples. What they were saying, though, is that some of the modifications they believe are more impactful at the young ages or even in the womb during development because they were moving some of these people from this particular region to sea level, and they were noticing how some of the genetics remain the same if the individual actually developed at the high altitude, even though they had now moved down to the low altitude.
Oh.
But if the individual was moved early enough that they didn't develop at all at the high altitude, then they would maybe adopt a similar makeup to those that were at sea level.
Well, once they're down here.
Talking about sea level?
Yeah, sea
We're
level?
actually not at sea level. We're a little
We're pretty high up.
Well, no, we're not that high up, but we're a little up right now.
Okay. Will their DNA kind of reverse that?
Yeah, so that's what the
pattern?
finding is that it's actually this ability to turn genes on or off. So it's not going to change the entire genetic makeup, but they're saying that it's some sort of a chemical modification potentially that could re-trigger, hit you with the endurance over again. I don't think it's ever going to happen for you, Willie Doo.
I mean,
I apologize.
I
don't. But I know you want to
tough.
be. I know you're trying to be a mountain climber and all the rest of it. So I don't want to hurt your feelings. I don't know. Maybe
one day.
go hang out with these guys. See if you can catch a quick mod. But the exciting part here is that the idea that we can potentially evolve to challenging conditions more rapidly than we might have imagined. That's kind of cool.
Oh yeah.